What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we're doing another rebuild on Madden 22, and today it's kind of a special one. It's also kind of not even a rebuild if you really think about it. It is the rebuild, the realistic style rebuild of the Cleveland Browns post Deshaun Watson trade. Of course, we will be looking to trade Baker Mayfield in this one as well. It's so many speculations. I have no idea, where he could go. The Colts are a team that keeps coming up, but will they trade inter-conference? The Texans did, but they are the Texans. So we'll get to that in a moment. But I have to start at the 2021 season because I wanted to make sure that the league was as up-to-date as possible. So we have Devontae on the Raiders, not the Packers. We have, Von Miller with the Billers. I don't think I needed to say that, but I did. Yeah, all the things are up-to-date. Even Juju Smith-Schuster on the Chiefs. Come on, Packers, wake up and do something. But obviously, the most important thing is we're going to see how long it takes, if long at all, or how many Super Bowls this team can win in a short period of time. Now, I am not 100% sure about what kind of cap situation they're in. Of course, they did release Hooper. I don't know about Shredder. Was he released as well? I'm not sure. I don't know what kind of cap situation they're going forward, because, once again, they gave like $200 and something guaranteed $1 million to Deshaun Watson, which is just crazy. But obviously, that's the kind of move it needed to be to get him. You want to guarantee, I wonder how many of the other teams even thought to give him a fully guaranteed 5-year deal. Like, the Browns 5-head 200 IQ'd the hell out of it. And, I mean, maybe the other teams did, I don't know, but, this is like Kirk Cousins on a whole new level. Of course, Deshaun Watson with a bit higher of a ceiling than Kirk, especially when you consider where he played and where he's going to now. Of course, the Browns seem to always just derail themselves anyways, but I don't think this time it is. I think this could go down as maybe one of the most influential trades ever, potentially. There's just so much talent on this Browns team. They could become a dynasty now. We really do not know. It kind of depends on what Deshaun Watson looks like after being out of football for so long. Is Amari Cooper going to stay healthy? A lot of things. It takes a lot to win a championship, right? Like, people can, clown the Packers for choking all the time, or, clown the Drew Brees for not doing enough either. A bunch of guys that, only won a ring, maybe two, or just, falling short, but injuries play a huge part. I mean, let's talk about the Buccaneers last year. If they don't get injured, maybe they're winning back-to-back. We don't know. It's that crazy of a sport. It's not like the NBA where, you have two superstars. They can take the whole team, and, one or two injuries isn't super common anyways, but, there's so many different pieces it takes to win a championship, but this team is definitely in prime position to do so. They had a Jakeem Grant, who's a super dangerous return man as well. I mean, as a Packers fan, I wanted him so bad. When he went to the Bears, I was like, sure, the Bears aren't as big of a threat themselves, but he's going to be good, and obviously he's just a freak return man. But overall, this is supposed to be about the Browns. I just had a streak. Chase Winovich is new. Mac Wilson was traded for him. Joke obviously had a pretty damn good season. And with the Baker Mayfield trade, we may be looking at a first-round pick anyways. I got to imagine Baker's still viewed as a first-round guy. There's a lot of teams still needing quarterback. I think the Falcons would probably be out on a guy like Baker. You got to go for a guy like Deshaun, but a guy like Baker, is he really giving you that much of an improvement, especially when Matt Ryan's contract, his hit is so huge? I'm honestly thinking I might send him to the Saints. I think the Saints, I don't know how much of I don't know, though, because Winston, if I'm the Saints, I'm not trading for Baker. I'm just going Winston, to be honest. But Seattle, I don't think they're ready to win anytime soon. I mean, they kind of almost seem like they're cleaning house. They're like, hey, we'll take calls about our receivers. If they're decent enough, maybe we send them off and lose all of our fan base. They really do need a quarterback now. Jesus, man. The Colts are juiced. In a bad way, of course. You can't tell me, though, that Washington wouldn't have held off if they knew all of this was going to happen. There's just no way they wouldn't have. Do we maybe trade him to the Lions? They're a bit of a dark horse team. I mean, Baker is, I wouldn't say similar to Stafford, but kind of similar. Strong-arm quarterbacks that have their moments, obviously. I'd still say Stafford is a bit higher of a talent than Baker, but I'm going to trade him for this pick. I don't know what this pick actually is. I really don't know, because I want Baker to be worth about like a pick 20, but I'm just going to make the trade. Whatever. We'll move down to 20 if we have to. It's not going to be perfect, because once again, we have the updated roster, but not all the trades were done properly, so some of the teams don't have their draft picks. This is about us rebuilding, not really, or, building, if you will, not everyone else. Speaking of building, maybe build up the like button and the subscribe button if you're new, or you enjoy the video. Obviously, you can come back and unsubscribe or unlike, whatever it may be. And I'd appreciate it a ton. We're also going to probably have a Raiders Davante Adams rebuild later today. Double rebuild day, assuming I get to it. This is like the first of 2 that I'm recording, so this is a bit of a night. It's going to be a bit of a night. So this isn't really supposed to technically be a part of the actual rebuild. We just kind of wanted to make sure that the roster is about as up-to-date as possible. Also, you do kind of want to excel the league a year ahead, so then the ages are proper as well. For the other non-as-big rebuilds, maybe Davante, we'll just, go to the start of the draft. I just trade for Davante. But for this one where it's a quarterback like Deshaun, it's a huge one. I'm going to, kind of do this. It's really annoying to have to, force win all the games, because after like week 10 or 11, all those game flexes, the COVID issues, all of that, mixed up the order. So you can't just go, you can't kind of half look. You have to full look. It's super annoying. I almost just had an ultimate colossal level sell. I almost just simmed to the Super Bowl. That would have been super unfortunate. We've made it with no mistakes. Now, I don't know about the dev-ups, because we don't want these dev-ups to stick, so hopefully nobody got one. And it appears we didn't. Way to go, Browns team. Always doing what you can to fail. I mean, of course, it's going to be a little weird because... actually, joke went up in dev. Probably should, in fairness, but we're gonna drop him at the star. But as far as all of this matters, realistically, we should have probably turned the XP to 0 as well. But it's about as good as we can get. This is as close as we can get. I extended a lot of the guys that got contracts in real life. It's not going to be perfect. I'm just hoping not to see any crazy free agent names. And yeah, we have all of our guys re-signed except for Walker. I don't know if Walker was actually signed in real life or not. It's a 1-year 5, which, I mean, fair enough, actually. Good job by these guys. Oh, yeah, the LA Rams pick that was. Yeah, whatever, we'll allow it. Pick 32 is the pick for Baker. I'd say he's probably worth a bit more than that, but you do have to pay him as well. So, I mean, yeah, whatever, we'll allow it. Probably should get more, but whatever. Because they could get less, in fairness. They could get, like, a second and a third from the Colts if they actually decide to say, hey, you know what, we're happy we got Watson. We're feeling like we're in a giving mood. You know what, well, sure, here, we'll take him. Why not? The Colts are like, do we have any say in this? Can we not? All right, we obviously don't have that kind of money. Well, actually, we might have that kind. I don't know how much money this team has, but Brady's a free agent. Not really much I could have done about that, huh? In fairness, he's definitely not playing on... What is it, $9 million? There's no chance, but yeah, they're probably going to re-sign him or he retires, obviously, but everything else looks pretty good. I mean, there might be a couple of names that are, in here, but for the most part, they're lower, like Mostert, I suppose, technically, but, DJ Reed should be in the Jets for longer than that, but overall, it's nothing crazy. Rasul Douglas might be, a couple of years down the line with Green Bay soon. I don't know, but... as far as, the big names, we avoided it. Anything further on, I mean, hey, it's not my choice. It's realism. They just released him. Do we go for Larry? He failed his physical. I don't really care, to be honest. It's just not going to be my thing. I still can't believe it, dude. I'm working on the trade that, Houston's getting. It's just so dumb, dude. I just don't get it. It's not even a this year third either. It's a next year third. This is crazy. So we just owe them one more first and a fourth, and we get a franchise quarterback. That's cool. Oh, but let's not forget our 5th round pick in the future. We're just going to count it for... Oh, they don't have a 5th round here. Wow, the Texans are really just not a great spot. Okay. All right, so for this draft pick... I think I am absolutely going to go with Devontae Wyatt if I can, and I think in most classes lately, or not classes, but mock drafts, he's actually been kind of going a bit later and later, so I'm just going to say that at 24, he's still going to be there. There's a good chance, though, that Green Bay does take him with the selection that they got Davante Adams, or the draft pick they got from Davante Adams trade. As far as, you looking back and saying, okay, well, they got a DT for the best wide receiver in the league. You kind of have to factor that their first-round pick will probably be the one that they use the actual wide receiver pick for if they're going to go. As once again, Green Bay, obviously now in more dire need, has passed on first-round wide receivers many, many times in the past. It's definitely going to be a huge headline when they do take one. They have no choice. I mean, just appeasing Rodgers, making it look like we're going and trying to help him out is just as important as the actual pick itself, almost it seems. But pick 32 and 78, is that actually enough? I absolutely want Wyatt. I think he's a great fit. It's one of their biggest needs, especially after losing Larry, which the name Larry is funny. It's a cool name, though, so stop yelling. Apparently, this is actually giving them too much. I'm going to add a fourth next year, and we should all be happy. I hate this game. I will say, Cleveland could also use a wide receiver, but they could get that in the second round. I'm kind of thinking edge for that pick, but they could definitely use one in the second round. Winovich is good enough, I suppose, when you're looking at the grand scheme, but I definitely think that D lineman spot is super important. And hey, where's Anthony Walker, dude? I gave him an extra. Fine, keep the fourth. I can't be bothered, dude. They got a good trade. All right, they got a good trade. Of course, the draft lineup's a little off. I can only do so much, but as long as a lot of the picks are pretty much the same. Well, Giants would love that, but Houston probably going to be going with a tackle. I mean, I don't know, dude. I really wonder what the quarterback situation is going to be like. They kind of like Davis Mills, it seems. Linderbaum's still there. There's no way he goes there, right? Like, he would be well before this. Center's a need, but it's not that big of a need. Because it is a center, so he would still be here, but I think you need Devontae Wyatt more than anyone. So we're going to be going with Devontae Wyatt as our pick. Hidden development trait, very athletic, super strong. A part of that Georgia D-line that is just killing it, or will be killing it on draft day. I'm trying to think of some of the wide receivers. Is there someone we should be taking? I mean, Anthony Schwartz is obviously a guy you're hoping develops. Same with Peoples-Jones. Cooper, I don't know if you can even depend on him to be healthy. So, I mean, it's going to be a little bit difficult. You can't really go Jameson Williams. I mean, he probably would go soon anyways, even if he's not playing. Like, who is here? Like, I don't even know if this is even super realistic. I feel like some of these names are going to be gone anyways. Olave would be kind of cool. Do you try to get nutso mode and trade up for George Pickens? I mean, once again, we could use that edge, but it's not as big. Olave goes right there. The Jags could still use a wide receiver. I know they spent a lot in free agency, but I mean, those names aren't great. I wouldn't say that's their biggest need, though, so we're not going to. Like, Donovan Peoples-Jones isn't like the worst player ever, and Watson's obviously dealt with a worse room than this, but Pickens would be sick. Because, like, Pickens is kind of like the same type of body as Peoples-Jones as well. I think I might hold off. I think I might. We're going to wait for Christian Harris and hope he's there. The team obviously could use another linebacker presence, especially since for some reason Anthony, Walker is just gone, but I imagine it's not going to be a big deal if we can actually get him. Some of these names shouldn't be here, but they are. Christian Harris, a guy that I actually don't think I've actually drafted in any of these. I am excited. Let's grab him. Christian Harris, hidden development trait, pretty damn athletic. This team's kind of goated. This could be a 3-year rebuild, which I would absolutely welcome as somebody that is going to be recording another rebuild where he has to fight against the Chiefs every single season. All right, we're going to grab Michael Wright, or Mikael Wright, whatever his name is. Decently athletic, could use some depth here at cornerback. I'd imagine Greedy could be on the way out. Once again, you can't afford everyone, and has he developed enough for them to pay him a contract? I don't know. I just don't think so. And I think now it's time to recoup a little bit for next year, as obviously that's kind of where we start seeing the draft pick hits. Maybe actually go with the Texans pick here, who is just projected to absolutely suck, so we're going to do it. I didn't even realize we're in round 4 still. Wow, that was just a huge L for us. All right. Trying to pay them back, I guess. And Atlanta's giving us a 4th-round pick, but it's a whole round later. Thank you, Houston, for robbing us. I mean, it's kind of fair in fairness, but still. Already giving the Texans better trades than they got in real life. This is where we're going to be taking a punter. The punt god. I mean, he's just the best in draft, super strong, and that's all I ever care about. I also can't remember if the Browns have an active fullback, so we're going to make a fullback active. I don't know what that means. We're going to grab Lenners because I think we've grabbed the other guy a few times. Lenners actually looks decent, so, you know, hey, what up? All right, let's take a look at the draft recap. I'm pretty happy with our draft. A bunch of 70s, actually, but Devontae Wyatt should be star development trade here. Pretty damn good of a player, obviously. A little lacking out the gate, but it's kind of dumb that his power move isn't a little bit higher than that, to be honest. But Christian Harris, automatic plug-and-play starter at number 1. I mean, just a great player, obviously. And Michael Wright could be the replacement for Greedy Williams. We got the punt god himself, and then the fullback Lenners. And that's pretty much... I actually want to see... Once again, I don't have the trades proper for Green Bay, but I do want to see if the Green Bay took a wide receiver anyways. This is so realistic, this game. Look at this game. Of course, McBride should be a little bit higher than that, you know, in the 2nd round maybe. But they didn't take a wide receiver in the whole freaking draft. Look at this. Oh, my God. That's beautiful. All right, so we have what should be the finished roster for the first year. Of course, Deshaun Watson, 90 overall superstar. He is or will be that in the next game, I would imagine. But yeah, I mean, it's a sick squad, dude. I mean, once again, I don't want everything to be about the Packers. It's not in a good way. So if you will, you know, if you want to hear me sad, it's, you know, it's something here. But looking at all these AFC teams, it just makes me sad, dude. We're still competitors. I can't even imagine what it's like to be a Texans fan right now. You just want to quit. That's it. You just don't want to even be a part of it. Or like a Lions fan. Like, it's just crazy. Look at the Chiefs and the Browns team. You know, their teams. The Chargers. The Raiders. Kind of the Broncos. Kind of. So I accidentally traded a pick that we didn't kind of have. But that's okay. We're just going to give him a 2nd round the following year, which, I mean, definitely equals out, especially in Madden. In Madden, I would rather wait a year and move to the 2nd round than to have a 3rd round pick. It's not even a question. In real life, you can argue. In Madden, it's not even close. You would rather do that every day of the week. So no one can be mad at me. I'm sorry. What the hell? Denzel Ward needs a contract, of course. I don't expect him to be paid that high, obviously. Yeah, I do, actually. I'm going to make it a 90 mil. I think that's pretty good. You know, it's not an open market type of thing, but it's still crazy money. Kareem Hunt, I think they want to keep around as much as possible. I don't know how David Njoku's playing. Obviously, just got the tag because they're kind of like, hey, letting go. How far are we into the season? Actually, I might be looking at a bit early into this. Oh, yeah, we're a bit early, so fair enough, I suppose. But this is tough because I mean, they traded Chase for Chase Winovich. He's not the biggest name in the world. I think we need more time. We got to wait. Obviously, you don't wait on that Kareem, not Kareem Hunt, but Denzel Ward guy. Kareem Hunt, I might have to wait on because, once again, I don't know how much money we're going to have left over after all these other guys. And we do have Watson's number correct, though, so at least, you know we have the money or don't have the money. Looking at current performances, I don't really like the way Njoku's played, but the money's, 4 or 25, I think is fair for the way he's played, and he's solid enough. Kareem Hunt, he's about 4 yards per carry. He's a good player in real life. I think you try your best to keep him, even if it's like a 2-year 16 or something, but in-game, I don't think it can be done for us. Chase Winovich is not playing super well, so you might as well let him go. Greedy is, a number 3 on a team that could easily go with another. Wright could easily be the right man for the job. I'm sorry. Remember when I said you can come back and leave a dislike, unlike or dislike or unsub? But they don't, please. The Browns made the playoffs first year with the man himself. As far as all the stats go, I'm not really seeing any of our guys on the list, unfortunately. But Deshaun Watson, 3,882 yards, 37 touchdowns, 10 picks. Pretty good. Nothing that Baker probably couldn't have done, I suppose. Maybe the touchdowns a bit higher. But Nick Chubb, 19 touchdowns, 1,600 yards, 5.1 yards per carry. I'm kind of thinking maybe we do keep Hunt. I want to, at least. Cooper was good, not great. Peoples-Jones, maybe we do need to replace Njoku. ended up being worth the contract, it seems. Schwartz, maybe he gets the number 2 spot if we can't find a better guy in free agency or the draft. Sack totals, Miles, 9.5 only. Wow, this was a weak pass rush. Denzel Ward was great, worth every penny. Blew it, well, yeah, you know the joke, right? Of course, Baker, number 9 on MVP, which, I mean, obviously that was going to happen every day of the week, no matter what happened. And, yeah, I mean, we got to the playoffs, but if we don't at least get, a couple of games in, it was a pretty lackluster season. But, once again, here we are going up against the Chiefs, so it's not a good chance for us, but these are 2 powerhouses, and I said 2, so we're one of them. We could beat them. Let's find out. Left or right, I feel like is us, but I don't know. I can't tell. We missed a field. Oh, they missed a field goal. I keep forgetting we're not the Chiefs. 7-7, we had a chance, blew it. 14-7, looking pretty good against the Chiefs, actually. 17-14, 24-14. It's close, and holding on to the victory of the Cleveland Browns, who beat Patrick Mahomes, of course. Not a great performance from Watson, so I was going to say, this is kind of what you trade for a guy like Watson for, but, not really that great, to be honest. Watson ran decently well. I suppose 7 for 38 doesn't really tell the full tale of the tape. If that's 7 for 38, I forgot about Bucker's kick miss. If that's 7 for 38, if like 4 or 5 of them were on third downs or something, like, maybe a fourth down in there, that's massive. That's what she says, something. All right, going to the divisional round, going up against the Bengals. Of course, not a bad team themselves, but, I mean, it's super, super devastating if you can beat the Chiefs, sim or real life, and you lose to the Bengals. I'm just going to be honest, it's devastating. Like, the Chiefs ultra choked last season. I mean, they should have easily been back in the Super Bowl and maybe winning another, but, they didn't. I mean, they've got an insane team. I mean, this is really just talk about the Chiefs rebuild. But 14-17, 21-17, we're in these games, which is what you're expecting. But for some reason, anytime I do a rebuild, no matter how good our team is, I just don't expect to win. That is a very clutch drive, maybe a career-defining one for Joe Burrow. Maybe not, because he's actually about to have one that's even more important. Once again, I don't want to come into the game, but this team is too talented to not at least have a chance. We're on all Madden, so I could sell just as much as I could help, and we know that for a fact. As we're looking for, I mean, you got to go to the man you paid. We just got freaking locked down by Elam, the rookie. Wow. Cooper ain't worth a damn thing, apparently. I mean, he just got beat hard. It was man coverage. Next Gen's route running is just so bad. I mean, that is just terrible route running. He's way better than him. He's so much better. He tries to press. Well, maybe he doesn't try to press, but yeah, I mean, he did engage him. It's hard to tell, but he's from a trailing position technically, and he just locks up. I mean, that's just terrible. I don't know. Last gen's bad, but next gen is just as bad in my opinion. But then again, I don't really play a whole lot of it. Huge disappointing L. Maybe should just let the game play it out, but Watson outside of our pick was actually really good. But unfortunately, Nick Chubb really undervalued or underplaying this postseason. He's been really bad. I don't know what to tell you. Elam with the pick, like we said. I mean, that's just a lackluster way to finish. So we could be broke. I don't know. But more importantly, the Bengals win the Super Bowl. So we lost to the Super Bowl champions, which usually makes me feel good, but they're in the division, so it kind of doesn't, to be honest. But all right, year 2, or headed to year 2, obviously. We're going to have ourselves a chance to continue to develop this team. We can grab a wide receiver number 2, which this team is just desperately needed. We very well could be the Super Bowl champions this upcoming season. So first things first, look at the re-signings. I mean, I would love to keep these guys. I just don't think the money's right. I mean, we can afford another player. I'm going to make sure we don't have to pay someone. So Johnson will be let go. Miles already got paid. Watson's like rich as hell. Teller. So Johnson, like I said, is going to be gone. Nick Chubb will have to pay, but he'll be cheaper. Cooper will have to pay, which could be doubled. We can get rid of Case Keenum right now. We have to pay Wills, but it shouldn't be too much more than that. Kareem Hunt, you could definitely get rid of. I'm debating, though. Greedy, you got a couple of guys in here. I think you let all these guys go and maybe even spend on a free agent wide receiver. We'll see, though. I'm willing to let these guys go, though, I think we'll have about maybe $5 million extra after all the contracts we need to pay. Taki, it is what it is. Star development trait, but he's 27. Chase just wasn't good. Greedy is a third. Kareem's, he's important, but we can always just draft a guy in the third or the fourth to make up for that, right? This team needs to start thinking about, being more than just one-dimensional. You got a quarterback now. What are you doing? Get some wide receivers. We're going to try to pay one under $15 million if we can. Obviously, Tyreek's not going to be a free agent, so I'm not going to worry about it. Elton Jenkins, I would assume Green Bay has the money to sign him now, even though he may be a right tackle in the future, which could cost them even more. Devin White is a guy that I would expect to potentially be a free agent. However, with that being said, I don't expect him to be a superstar 88 overall, because he is kind of like, not super great in real life. Hardman could be a free agent. These are really good free agents. Like, these guys are absolutely great. These guys are really good free agents. I don't know who to pay, though. I think, what's his name? Devin White's the most realistic guy to be a free agent in the future. I don't know about Marquise Brown. Personally, it's hard to tell. I feel like he's still yet to hit his stride, but he's also kind of like the best wide receiver there. So, I don't know. I think Hardman would be the more realistic guy to be a free agent, if any. But the Browns definitely could use some speed. So, I feel like we should go for one of these guys. I'm just going to say Marquise Brown could be a free agent, right? I mean, the Ravens, their receiving group is just weird as is. I mean, are you really going to pay Marquise to continue to be the number one at his size? I don't know. With that being said, we are officially broke. So personally, I think safety should be maybe our first round pick, as we now obviously have our wide receiver number 2. Stole him from a division rival on top of it, but I think safety should be our number 1 pick, as we are probably just going to trade Johnson here. We can save a lot of money. Good player and all, but maybe get someone a little bit more athletic on top of it. We obviously have to save that money because we need to pay Cooper. And, I think that's really the move. Maybe trade Johnson off for like a late second or something like that. He's pretty good. I'd imagine he's worth that even if you have to pay him. We have traded John Johnson to the Buccaneers for pick 68 and 132 this year, which is, kind of like a second-round pick. I feel like that's very fair. Might have to... No, he was fine. I was about to say I might have to adjust the positions, but no, that's good. So we saved a ton of money there. Definitely got weaker in the defensive backfield with our depth and just starter, but we can still draft someone. I don't think we have a first-round pick, but we have a couple of picks that are maybe... Actually, I need to figure out what we have. We might not have any pick until the third round. So Jedrick Wills needs a contract. He's worth extending, but I don't want to pick up the option because I think you can just pay him for the same price anyways, See, a fifth-year option makes more sense for real life. Maybe not so much in the game, right? All right, so our highest pick actually is a second-round pick. Maybe we messed this up. I don't remember. No, I don't remember because they never got a second-round pick off them. But we have a bunch of different players. Jason Bird is one of the guys I was looking at. B zone coverage. Some of the other stuff looks bad, but once again, super fast. It's kind of one of the big things you look for linebackers in the game. We also have this corner I never got to fully scout, but he looks decent. He's 23, but he's super fast. I was thinking, maybe, but it's probably not someone we're going to go for. I also found this guy late, so I'm not sure, but the A-hit power, he is slower, but, John Johnson was kind of slower. Maybe a perfect fit. And then who's the other guy? Potts, Mr. Scooby Potts. Don't know about his, his man coverage, zone coverage kind of sucks, but he's more athletic. I don't know if I can take a shot on Bates, but I kind of might have no choice. We have no safety at all. We also have Julian Long, who is an edge rusher, I imagine, who has a B finesse. So there's options. I think no matter what, though, we're not going to be grabbing anyone for a trade up. None of these guys look good enough, in my opinion, to trade up for. And once again, we are kind of thin on picks. All right, so we're in the draft, and I'm kind of glad I left this. I took like a 2-hour break. The reason why I'm glad I left this is because the main man Bengal, the speed demon that he is, already posted a Browns rebuild. The reason why I'm giving reason for you to leave the video, I don't know why the hell would I even mention it, is because I seen that he posted about Malik McDowell in that awkward situation. I had no idea. I was thinking, this guy kind of under my radar. Like, he's under my radar. Why do I never hear about him? What's the story? Turns out he had an incident with the police, which I assume means that he's not going to be on the team because, yeah, I mean, that sure was a circumstance. I will say I don't see anything like saying he's long-term. Man, what a weirdo. How is he even, like, allowed near a school? I don't even know. But, of course, I mean, I guess we'll allow... he's not even a start. I don't know, dude. This is just weird. We're just gonna, staple some clothes onto his body and, resume with our draft here, I suppose. But with this pick, safety was kind of like my number one need. And then I was like, wait a whole second there. It might not be. Is our strong safety there? Brendan Bates is there. I really don't know a whole lot about him, though. I know that he's not as athletic as I would like. But that A hit power makes me think he's decent. This is the ultimate reach if I grab him. B play rec is pretty good, actually. But you also do have the other guy. What's his name? Scooby Potts, who looks really rough. But at least he's athletic enough so where if he sucks, he can still fill in and play. Because once again, he's fast enough. I really don't know. Once again, we need that edge rusher. Jason Bird is there. We could use linebacker, technically. We also do have the other guy. What's his name? Beretta. Pretty cool name as well, but don't really know as much about him. Know that he's, kind of similarly athletic. But the edge rushers, Julian Long, once again, looks pretty good. He's probably the guy I'd be targeting, but also the other guy, Beckham, looks pretty decent as well. I don't know as much as about him, but, I just know that he's likely a pass rusher, so... With this pick, I don't know. Do I take the chance on that slow safety because of the A hit power, B play rec? Or do I'm going to take the middle linebacker. Jason Bird's ours. Why? Okay, he's 21, in fairness. He's still young. Pick 4, I think, is going to be the, what is it called? The edge rusher. Assuming, once again, he is an edge rusher like it's, he's supposed to be, it seems. Julian Long, welcome to the team. Be good, please. We've sold. We've lost. Pack it in, kids. It's over. Bates is still there. I debate. He's better than Potts, but I can't guarantee that because of the speed. So I'm likely going to just wait until one of them goes, which is more than likely going to be Bates any minute now. Literally right there. And I suppose we'll trade up for Potts. Once again, I don't think he's going to be that great, but he is athletic enough. He's got a couple of redeeming factors. We need the position desperately. This team is actually not as kind of like well off as I thought. I thought, we were going to be like really ready to go, but we kind of took a bit of a hit. It's kind of a bad look for us, to be honest, but that pick might be a little bit too high. Come on, just do the thing. Just do the, oh my Lord. This is going to be such an L if that Bates guy is good, because this guy is just super debatable, but I'm going to go for the 40 time and all that. Once again, normal development trade as expected, 89 speed, 89 excel. I mean, once again, pretty athletic. If that's his speed and excel, I can't imagine Bates is, looking too strong himself, but we do have some players, hopefully, if their overalls are good enough, whether they're normal or better, we do have some starting caliber players that we have taken. And then with the next pick, we could use a running back, Greg Monroe, the old basketball player, looking pretty damn athletic here. I think is probably worth it. We need a running back number 2. We got rid of Kareem Hunter, let him go, if you will. And we got a guy that's, a good power back. That's kind of what we were looking for. Although we drafted him pretty damn high, I will admit. But 5th round pick, 26th to be exact. And with this pick, we're likely going to be taking a DT because there's a couple of decent ones later on there that look pretty good, or they're all gone. Never mind, I lied. Going to go for the speed wide receiver, Cullen Monty. This could be an all-normal draft, and it's definitely looking that way. Go to the 6th round, going to grab that center. Wow, this has been not a good experience at all. But I will say, we were probably good enough to win the Super Bowl last year, especially since we took down the Chiefs. And that center who is undrafted is gone. What is this? Why? Does anyone want to help me out here? I need somebody else to just draft for me. I'm I'm just washed. I'm really not, but definitely not looking super good in this draft. I will say 6'7", whatever. Justin Connell, we kind of needed a backup tight end. It's a 6th-round pick. Whatever, who cares? I do, to be honest. I'm actually pretty sad about it, but let's go to the 7th round and just pretend this draft never happened. This guy's going to suck a ton. I'm not. He's 23. Screwed. I was going to just grab him because he's a higher projected, but none of that really matters. Grab Earl Hurst. Whatever. I don't really care, to be honest. 88 throw power. Yeah, whatever. You know. If we could at least have come away with a couple of good overalls, I'd be stoked. I'd be pretty happy. Come on. Show me. Show me the juice. Or we'll just see nothing. I don't know what the hell happened. I looked away. Show me some good overalls. Okay. I mean... Okay, definitely not what I was hoping for, but let's take a look. Julian Long, he is usable. No pass rush traits. Once again, that doesn't matter, but just for my sanity, I usually, still kind of change their traits a little bit. Why not? Of course, I believe, he's going to be a left end for us, right? Where's the traits? Left end, utilize finesse. He does jump to a 70, which is cool. Jason Bird, who I do not think we need a middle linebacker. I think it's, is it the right outside linebacker? I think. I don't know. I'm just juiced on my mind. I'm just out of it. Gonna play him out over there. Of course, we did have a chance at that other guy, so we'll probably have to take a look at him and see how much of a sell we made on that as well. But Potts, 68 overall. How bad is he? I mean, that's raw. That is pretty raw, but still manageable, right? 71 catching's great. Block shed's decent enough for a guy that's kind of on the undersized, look. Joe Hayden's number, what a thief. Usable. Monroe's a 69 overall. He's a backup anyways. This was a pick that didn't really matter, but of course, very talented. It's a good pick. Monty's a 68 overall, which isn't terrible either. Pretty fast. He's got all the traits. This would be a guy you would love to get in a user league. That would be a bit of a nice, sneaky little steal. And I believe that's pretty much everyone. But I do want to see some of the other options, like the safety who went early in the 3rd. I believe Mr. Bates, 73 overall. Of course, he is hidden. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he was 88 speed with a 4.6 or a 4.59. Oh, my. I know his Excel is really low, but really? 68 block shed? You're going to let him play linebacker? I'm done, dude. I'm sick to my stomach. This should be illegal. Of course, he's only star, so in the end, if we develop our Potts guy early, it's technically a better pick anyways. Was there anyone else we were kind of debating? Because one of my favorite activities is to, here we go, right after us. Okay, I was about to say hidden development trade would have been great. I can't remember every rating perfectly, but, they're kind of similar. So one of my favorite activities is to look at the players we could have had. And, here we go. Muldrow, another guy. Sweet. To be fair, we did, we were kind of batting not with our strongest, right? This was a guy that they had on the prospect spotlight thing, and, perfect fit for the freaking Patriots. 87 speed, they love that. And I don't really think there was anyone else that, we could have really had. So, outside of that safety, who even then is kind of a debate, I guess it wasn't that crazy of a miss. It's just, we don't have good draft picks because our draft picks are reminded every day in the quarterback position. So, what can you really do? So we trade Peoples-Jones to the Packers for pick 85 and a left guard that I don't care about. Is just to clear some money from them. We obviously know they need a wide receiver. All right, year 2 of the team. Once again, is something specifically on defense did downgrade, but our wide receiver number 2 obviously upgraded. Super speed demon Marquise Brown. Kind of stole him from the Ravens. And obviously everything else, looks pretty good. Obviously we lost Kareem Hunt, but Monroe does look pretty decent. Offensive line is pretty much the same. Tight end, obviously the same. Defensively, though, like we said, left outside linebackers new, but higher potential. The free safety is a huge downgrade, we'll admit, but he still has a chance. He's young, decently athletic, may still look to replace him, and same with Long. That's a huge question mark, but I will say not much of a downgrade from Chase Winovich, as he just really didn't play well for us. But yeah, only time will tell. We'll see what happens, and it's still probably a good enough team to compete for a Super Bowl, maybe even win the thing. Hey, maybe he is the guy. Julian Long, star development trait, 10K XP, we take that. We have some negotiations. We should be able to afford everyone, but I'm not guaranteeing it. Looks good for Cooper. Once again, I would really like to see him as an X Factor. Let's see how he's actually playing this season. A little over halfway through the year, and oh boy, okay, he's getting that deal because he should, become an X Factor, which obviously changes quite a bit for this outcome. Wills is a 5-year 80, which is really crazy, but what can you do? You kind of have to pay it. I probably should have given him 100, but whatever. Grant Delpit, however, is a bit cheaper, so we're going to do a 5-year 31.5, basically 32 mil, and we might be able to save the rest of the money. Nick Harris has actually been a decent fill-in at center, but he's pretty basic. He's also a finesse-style guy, which, once again, the majority of the interior is going to be power. A lot of these other guys kind of suck, but they're all backup level talent. So we're saving a little bit. We made the right call with Johnson, obviously, and we were able to re-sign all the players we wanted. Should be in the playoffs. Can't guarantee it, though. We were 10-6, and we go 11-6. I think again, actually. Looking at the numbers, Amari Cooper was the #1 wide receiver. Let's take a look at how Deshaun finished. Pretty good stuff. We kind of went with Tampa's halfway through the season. The beginning half, and then we went back to Cleveland's for the second half. I wanted a little bit more of a balance, but I still wanted those good rushing numbers, good rushing attempts, and even with Marquise Brown really not utilizing the #2 wide receiver at all. Looking at the sack totals, Myles Garrett at least is back up there with some decent numbers. Long was atrocious. McDowell was great. He had clothes on. Wyatt with 8.5, not terrible. And some okay numbers, and Chris Blewett needs to be replaced. He's just... we've done that experiment, and it didn't seem to matter, but clearly Blewett is just terrible. He's just not good at all, and some of those, top rankings are close on a few and whatnot, but, we're not really expecting to be up there for that. We just want to win and make it to the Super Bowl. I don't know if we're going to be able to, though. The Jaguars versus the Browns, of course, way better team, but it's Madden Sim. If we don't make the Super Bowl this year, I'm going to be so mad. The Chiefs are out of it again. I know last time it was our doing, but they're out of it again. This could have been like 3 straight Super Bowls. We are a very good team, even though we're struggling against the Jaguars. Here we go, up 14, up 21. This should be a victory. Yeah, we won the game. Holy crap, though. They were up by 7. They were looking strong. We got a nice touchdown before half, and we hold on for the victory. Deshaun Watson, pretty damn good performance, obviously. Chubb was the true MVP without a doubt. Amari Cooper was great as well. We had the big 3, if you will, killed it. Julian Love, Long did really well. Okay, we're making it to the divisional round again. Had to beat a team to get there. Can we make the Super Bowl? That's, it's crazy to look at it. By the way, Joke always dominates. He literally always dominates this thing. Every single time. He's just literally always becoming a god. Every single time you use him in Sim. But, yeah, it's early to think about it, but it's the Browns team. They're close to built out the gate, and then now you have Watson, and you didn't have to lose any players for him. It should be, thinking about the Super Bowl this early. But here we are, divisional round. Could be the Chargers, speaking of. And it will not be. It will be the Raiders with Devontae Adams and Derek Carr, one would assume. I don't want to see it. We have no information on the Bengals versus the Chargers, but the Bengals are probably a pretty good bet. 7-7, defense did its job. 7-14. Well, we have the 14, though. 14 all. Not really liking the trajectory of this one, to be honest, and they are leading by 3 halftime. It is a tie game, entering the 4th, up 7. The Raiders bounce back with a touchdown drive of their own. The offense has got to do better. Defense is doing what they can, and look at this. From the 44, are they going to go for the field goal? Because it's a punt. I know your defense has done a good job, but this is for a Super Bowl? What are we doing here? Slant, Brown. There's no way they can cover all of this. They actually can. And they can't. They got bumped. Holy crap. We almost just sold. That would have been a victory for the Raiders without a doubt. And hell, they may still win. Knowing this team, they'll fumble, throw a pick, something. I don't want to, dictate the results, but, we dictate the results. Maybe we're into the championship round. Woo! Deshaun Watson clearly did not play super well, but he also didn't throw a pick like Derek Carr did. Nick Chubb is great. Monroe, get off the field. Devontae Adams killed it. Marquise was decent. Cooper, not as good as last week, obviously. Defensively, Myles Garrett, the same 3 again. That is something. Blew it, of course. Almost blew the game. I'm surprised he even hit the game winner there at the end, but wow. We need a new kicker. Championship round, who is it? The Bengals. I mean, who would have thought that? That's a shocker. We already lost to them once. They're very similar overall to us as well. Please just let us have one. We're the best division in football, apparently, anyway, so just give it to us. Here we go. Joe Burrow. Please, don't beat us again. Anything but that. Of course, Dallas on the other side probably is going to win that game, but 7-0. Cincinnati out the gate, just dominating. 7-7. 10-7. It's looking okay. They take the lead. 17-4. Still close. Still close. Cincinnati ties it up. We lead by 7. That goes away instantly. And we hold on for the victory. A 3-point win. That was a weird one. It was a bit of scoring early, and then it was just kind of stalemates back and forth. And ultimately, we held on. Deshaun Watson was okay. But, I mean, once again, we're not seeing elite performances from a guy that, this team did give up a lot for. Not really even just the draft picks, but obviously the fact that they had to pay him so much guarantee. They can't move on from him, so if he doesn't step up, oh well. All right, headed to the Super Bowl. Is it going to be the Cowboys? Shocker, it's the Cowboys. We have seen a lot of Browns versus Cowboys. More so the Chiefs versus Cowboys, though. And let's take a look at potential dev-ups. Should be Cooper. It is. A little surprised it wasn't also Watson. Defensively, anyone? It was no one. Well, maybe Joke wasn't an X factor. Maybe Harris wasn't superstar. I can't really remember, to be honest. Yeah, Joke wasn't. It's going to be super expensive. I can't wait. And Harris was also star. So fair enough with there, but no upgrade for Bird. No upgrade for Potts. Long obviously got his dev up earlier in the season. It's still a really good team, but man, I would have loved to see a dev up for those two at least. All right, we are the better team. We have them by 3 overalls, but it is the Cowboys who have won like every Super Bowl ever as of late. They're smoking us so far. This is really fun. I enjoy this. This is a fun video game. This is really fun. I'm enjoying this. This is fun. Oh, now we want to wake up. Do we actually have a chance? Wait, hold. How? I love the fact that we're running the freaking ball, though. Like, we're running the ball with no time left. Good job, game. God, this game is good. It is a very good video game. Best game I've ever played. Got, like, no time left. Just run the ball. Why not? We can't. You gotta use your best player. That's amazing defense by that guy. Dropped, which actually doesn't hurt us. Like, now we're in a situation because of that run and the timeout that we had to use because the clock was running where we can't even, like, stay in the field of play. Like, we're stuck. Might just be a shot to Amari. It's actually not a bad play, though. Almost picked. It was picked! Wow, that guy's a god! He's really good. Yeah, wow, greatest catcher I've ever seen. Wait, right... That left really never comes down unless they count. Wow, the greatest footwork of all time. I'm done. We lost. Oh, God damn it. Simulating, and I kind of... Okay, good, we lost anyways. I kind of forgot to force the sim loss, but what a disaster this game is. All right, year 3. If we win the Super Bowl there, I'm not going to try to win 2 or anything like that. I'm not doing a 5-year rebuild of the Cleveland Browns. I'm just hoping we at least make the Super Bowl. If we make the Super Bowl again, win or lose, the rebuild's over. We have to at least make it, though. If we don't, then I'm going to do a 4th year of a Browns rebuild. I am stoked. It's just, like, as soon as we use our team, the team's chances of winning drop tremendously, whether we bring in the greatest talent or not. Browns have been competing super hard in game with Baker Mayfield the whole time, and as soon as they get a better quarterback in Watson, who's an actual superstar 90-plus overall, it's like, oh, no. You hold the hell on. He's some trash. Of course, for free agents, we need a new kicker. Tucker, I don't think, is going to be one of those guys. I don't think that's going to be an option for any team in the future, but we definitely need a new kicker. I don't know if Lutz is going to be an option. Like, who's even, like, available? Maybe Daniel Carlson, perhaps? I'm just going to... No, actually, Daniel Carlson's sick as hell. I'm going to grab him. we get Daniel Carlson. I know that the team is young, so technically you don't actually have to add anyone to make the team better every year, but we also have, like, no draft picks. It's, like, third and later. We need a new center, so that's going to be probably our highest draft selection. And then maybe if we have a chance at a safety, perhaps linebacker, I think Bird will develop. I'm not too worried about that. So really just get a safety, but obviously the center is the #1 need, and maybe the only thing we draft in general. Once again, later, third or later is all we have. So let's go to the draft. Actually, let's not go to the draft because we have that scouting thing. I'm going to slap like every center on there and then hope for the best. We got some fifth-year options. Greg Newsome. Oof, that's going to be a freaking contract and a half. Please win the Super Bowl this year. I don't think we can afford this team. I think we're going to lose some players. EA with another potential actual good player. Once again, I haven't seen one of these guys be hidden, but I'm going to put him on the list. Why not? He's tall, decently athletic. Screw it. All right, so let's start skipping ahead to where we care the most. We have a 2-3 center and a 3-4 center that look really good, but I think the 2-3 probably will be gone. We'll see, though. You never know. I highly doubt it, but like I said, maybe he's there. And he is not. For a second, I thought maybe he was. Alex Rose, okay. Maybe we look. Maybe we look. But first things first, got to trade up to Seattle, grab the center, who I imagine will be decent. Even if he's not hidden, he should at least be, pretty good overall. These guys are pretty easy to read. So 65, we'll give them our third, and we have 2 thirds apparently. So our third and 106. I don't even know if that's enough. I was about to say, it's decent, but it's not that good. It's not that good, but the 5th should add enough value. It does. Grab the center, and then honestly, maybe you still pass on that safety. It wouldn't hurt to have him though. Jeremy Todd, that's gonna be our guy. Looks great. A bunch of very good ratings. Should be good. Grab him. Head in development trade. Shocker. The safety's gone. Our corner's there, but he's a day 3, which I will say could literally be anything. Like the day 3 could literally be a pick or 2 from now. I don't know if I really want to put that much into him. He's fast and he's tall, but this isn't a user franchise. This is a CPU one, so if he sucks, it doesn't matter about any of those things. It's really just about, once again, how good he actually is. So if he's there in the next round, perhaps, but I don't know. Unless we trade down, we do have like no picks in between. What about this guy? Marcus Landry, slow as hell. No one's ever taken a shot on that. Went down to 103 to add a 7th round pick, I believe, which, it's not great, but I guess I'll grab the corner. He is really athletic and he's young, so. Chris Mason, D-man, D-press, but 4.36 at a 6'3", it's worth the try. 93 speed, 93 excel. Once again, in a user league, you'd be ecstatic. That's your starter no matter what. But I have no idea how good he is here, and maybe he plays a safety spot. I didn't get to see his zone coverage, so that's kind of like the silver lining, if you will. This trade, this pick will definitely be a trade down of next year. The Bengals, don't be the only team giving me a 4th. Don't be the only team. Thank you. I'm just going to go... yeah, let's go straight to the Panthers. Whatever. 4th round pick from the Panthers for our late 5th is an absolute steal. This pick could be another lineman. Once again, they're all kind of trash, but maybe we'll find somebody sneaky down there. DeAndre Moore actually looks okay. We're going to grab him. Normal development. Oh my god, I didn't even look at the strength or anything like that. Yeah, he's probably not very good. Going to take Anthony. Decently fast. Looks like a bust. I just called the second to last pick a bust. Yep, I did it. I'm NFL Twitter. God dang it. 72-70. Yikes. But 6th and a 7th. The corner actually looks all right. 70 overall is not bad. What's the zone? 60 zone coverage. That is a project player if I've ever seen one, but once again, super athletic. And then the center was kind of the only position we absolutely needed. Don't know what his dev is. Maybe we just added another superstar. Maybe we just added another star dev. I don't know. But for a 3rd round pick, you can't really go wrong, right? And star dev. We really didn't have much to work with. All right, here's the team for the 3rd year. I really hope it's the final year because, once again, this team just doesn't really need to be rebuilt anymore. Like, there's not really much we can do. Outside of dominating the draft, there's really not much we can do. And, yeah, let's go on and just see what happens. So, Reese, oh my god. Please tell me this is Oh my god. Tell me we're going to win it all this year, because joke is gown, and I ain't joking around. I'm sorry, that was just unnecessary. There was no need for that. Nick Chubb, 5-year deal is pain, but, I mean, what can you do? Got to pay him. Joke is absolutely gone. Newsome, once again, cornerback's pretty hard to get, so we're going to grab him. 6-year, 67-ish. Probably be worth a little bit more than that. Really good zone coverage. Maybe draft a corner, move into safety. Who knows? But yeah, you just can't. I mean, you just can't do it, right? Like that's just too much money, anyways. It really isn't, but it's still a lot. Can we hold on for the division title? Let's find out. Can we? We did not. Nice, good job. A bunch of losses in a row. Sweet, dude. I love it. Deshaun Watson has honestly really felt like he hasn't played a single role in this entire thing. 3 straight losses at the end against, I mean, beatable, tough, but beatable teams without a doubt. But let's take a look at those stats anyways. Wow, Deshaun, you've been good for us. Wow, Nick Chubb is clearly the man around here. It doesn't matter who else you got. O-line, I mean, the numbers just don't even represent how good the players are. It's just all about the scheme. It really is. That's why, I don't know, I just don't like doing the good team rebuilds. It's just like, what's the point, you know? We have 9 overalls on the Colts, and we're still going to lose. Okay, here's the thing. I know I'm trying to find reasons to end the rebuild, but if we lose to this Colts team, the rebuild's done anyways. It's going to be a disaster, but this is just a game you should not lose. If you lose to a team that is 9 overalls less than you, how are you supposed to win? I don't understand. Like, I'm running the Browns scheme here. Is it just Chiefs or nothing? Like, is that all you got to do is just Chiefs or nothing? Defense really isn't doing super well, but we're holding on, I suppose. Up by 8, up by 11. Wasn't that impressive a win, but here we are winning, I suppose. God, I mean, this game, dude. 9 overalls on them, and it really never felt like we were that much better than them. And I don't want to hear this, any given Sunday. No, the game doesn't have any given Sunday. It's got any given Chiefs playbook, and it's the same 3 again. Or was it Wyatt last? I don't know, but it's pretty much the same 3 every time. All right, head to the divisional round. Going against the Broncos. All right, fair enough. Another lower overall team that we're going to either barely win against or lose to. It's going to be sweet. All right, here we are, going to the end of the game. Denver driving down for 7 right out the gate against our really good defense. Love it. We're struggling against their iffy defense. I love it. 3 field goals. At least Daniel Carlson's being paid well. Down by 1, up by 2. This is a really weird score. Down by 5, up by 3, up by 10. And we're going to win the game. It was a weird one, but we are going to win nonetheless. So, headed to... Is this the championship round now? I mean, it feels like we've played like so many freaking games here. Deshaun Watson, 1 touchdown. Russell Wilson, not so good. Of course, Chubb was great. Receiving Marquise Brown was decent enough. Defensively, 5 sacks. Myles Garrett went off. Grandel Pitt, Denzel Ward, and Potts with interceptions. Scooby, dude. Scooby Potts, man. What a name. The Titans, what are their overall? We're 92 overall. They are an 83. Another 9 overall difference. Let's see. It's in the same division as well. So, I mean, that's going to be great. All right, going to the end of the game. Not a snowy game, rainy game. I thought it would have been snowing because it's probably cold here, but just enough warmth to keep it rain. Both teams kind of like this weather, obviously. 13-10. Can we just, like, not score? Thank you. Up by 10. Fourth quarter, only up by 3. Titans are going to take the lead in a moment. It's all tied up. Cleveland can't do the job, and they win it right at the end for their shot back at the Super Bowl. Watson, at least he didn't throw 2 interceptions, but wasn't amazing. It was a rainy game, so we're going to allow him to, to have a bad game. But the rookie Mason with a pick, and of course Daniel Carlson with a missed kick. The Super Bowl against the Cardinals. Hot opponent. I honestly don't care. I think we're all hot opponents because we're in the playoffs and we're in the Super Bowl, so we had to win a bunch of games to get here. Not really seeing any dev-ups from anyone. No dev-ups at all, actually. Just end my misery of rebuilding a team that's already good. That's all, please. Cardinals, 85. We're 93. I mean, what else can you do? All right, going to the end of the game. Once again, this is, I'm not saying I completely checked out of the rebuild, but it's just kind of like the Watson trade matters in real life way more than in game, but I still wanted to see, how good they would be. I kind of thought maybe we'd win 3 straight. As you can see here, we're like barely lucky to maybe win this one, as we are going to by 3. I mean, it wasn't a pretty one, but I mean, like, he's 50% on 200 yards, 32 attempts. I mean, they won the Super Bowl, but holy crap. Madden is just scheme over everything. It's just nuts. Hell, I've seen Baker play better than Watson has here in the Browns scheme. Like, I don't know what that is. Watson, I will say, is kind of weirdly bad in sim. So unless you rock the Chiefs playbook or one of the better playbooks for passing, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. But of course, you could see here that the Browns are Super Bowl champions with Deshaun Watson. It only takes, 3 years? I think this is year 3. Grab a new center, because obviously they got rid of Treader. Grab a new number 2. Probably don't need someone as good as Marquise Brown if Cooper stays healthy. Get rid of Kareem Hunt. You can't afford everyone forever. Devontae Wyatt, don't know if he's even going to be available, if they even trade Baker Mayfield, and if they do, if it's even for a good pick or a first-round pick. Not really sure his value, to be honest, but it's a sick squad that, once again, on paper, has all the talent in the world, but will they actually be able to put it to use, to the field, and actually turn it into a special team? We've seen it for years at the Chargers. Maybe they're just about to wake up as well. Same with this Browns team now. The AFC is a beast, though, so being one of the better teams in the league, being one of the better teams in the AFC isn't the only thing that matters. Sometimes you're going to need a little bit of luck, especially if there's injuries. So we'll see what happens. I'm a bit excited. I'm also a little like, should he even really be allowed in the league? And I know there's going to be people that are like, he was innocent. Look, he didn't get convicted. Because that's, clearly that's the only thing that matters in life. You could, murder your neighbor, bury him in the backyard, say that he was here before I moved in and get away with it. And apparently you're innocent, but it doesn't really work that way. I'm not going to speculate anymore. I'm not going to say he is or he isn't, but I definitely, I will say he's not completely innocent just because he's not guilty. It doesn't work that way. So enough of that. If you're a Browns fan, let me know what you guys think of the whole situation, because I did hear a lot of stuff about, teams weren't super stoked about him joining their squad, because their fans weren't super stoked, because, it's kind of a bad thing to have floating around your name. So I don't know. We'll see, I suppose, but regardless, hopefully you guys enjoyed the rebuild. Maybe there'll be a Raiders rebuild later today. If not, will be tomorrow. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys, I'll put it this way. If you've seen the, what is it called? The Dolphins stats and awards video earlier today, then Raiders rebuild would be tomorrow. But if not, then there's a good chance the Raiders rebuild will be today. So that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya.